Wonderful good morning to the beautiful listeners of Badeggi Radio 90.1 FM. We're reaching live from the OP in the capital city of the power state, Mina, Niger State. Today is Tuesday, the 12th day in the month of May, year 2026. Studio time check is 8 minutes past the hour of 9. I am Usman Napaya. Welcome you to your favorite morning show, the Badeggi Radio Link. Imposition of unpopular candidates remains one of the major challenges confronting Nigerian democratic processes. As political parties prepare for 2027 general election, fear of candidate imposition are already generating debates across the country. Candidates imposition occur when party leaders, influential politicians, or godfathers force a particular aspirant on party members and voters, often ignoring due processes, internal democracy, or wishes of the electorate. Instead of allowing transparent primaries, party elites may manipulate delegate lists, influence electoral committee, or pressure aspirants to step down for other preferred candidates. Some of the reasons advanced to actually have this candidate imposition has to do with party loyalty to party leaders or political godfathers in the party. There's issue of financial influence and political patronage. There's issue of ethnicity, religious or regional calculation. That's amounting to bringing the issue of imposition. There's fear that open primaries may divide the party, and protection of vested interests within the political party is one reason or one of the causes of this imposition. Desire to maintain control of party structures. In Nigeria today, both ruling party, the APC, and of course opposition parties have faced accusation of imposition of candidates at different times. Well, the consequences that may actually befall any political party that actually impose candidates on its people is that it's going to lead to internal crisis in the party. There's going to be an increased defection. You can't run away from having a voter apathy. It's another very, very, serious trouble that you're going to have when you impose candidate, because probably the people, after if you field an unpopular candidate, electorates may turn down or may not turn out to vote because the candidate that is standing as a flag bearer of a particular party, which is the party they sympathizes with, is not popular, and as such, instead of going to vote, they would rather stay at home. There's going to be a rise in protest votes. Sometimes when you impose a candidate who is not popular, definitely there's going to be a protest vote, because people are not have love to that candidate you are actually imposing on them. Against, there's going to be violence and political tension. Yes, for instance, in Gombe State, former Minister of Communication, talking about Professor Isa Ali Fantami, has said that if the imposition of candidate in Gombe State stands, it means they are going to take 3 actions. So who knows? It could be one of those reasons. And they could be violent, and there could be worse as it is now. There is a political tension in APC in Gombe State and many other states of APC in Nigeria, including the state controlled by oppositions. Again, you are likely going to have a very weak governance after election. Yes, of course, when you field in an unpopular candidate who doesn't have what it takes to actually govern, or he doesn't have that leadership charisma, definitely there's going to be weak in terms of a governance, because even from his appointment of his cabinet, you're going to appoint weaker people who are actually not up to his own standard. So definitely, when you appointed people who have nothing to offer, definitely governance in that direction is going to be very weak. Another very, very trouble that could come out of this is a legal battle and electoral uncertainty. Yes, we have seen many instances in this country that by the time you fill in a candidate that is not being accepted by the people right from the party level, and you impose it on the people at general election, definitely there's going to be a battle in the court, and at the end of the day, that person is going to lose. You understand? It has happened in Zamfara. It has happened in Rivers. It has happened in many other states in the country where unpopular candidates have been filled. For instance, we talk about the issue in Imo State is one of the example. Somebody who is fourth on the ballot is now a governor of the state, and as you can see, there is issue with Hope Ozodinma, governor of Imo State, who among themselves, the APC governor gathered money to the tune of 800 billion naira to pursue the campaign movement of the president, and there is an allegation that he has siphoned the money. So these are some of the things you're going to get when you fill in an unpopular candidate who is not actually accepted by the people. So it is on this background that we want to look at the imposition of an unpopular candidate and the likely consequences. Today's conversation, is going to be a fully, interactive one, conversational between the radio and the listeners out there, because we are stepping into election, and already we are having issues of imposition of candidate. There are people who have actually done great and that they want to give themselves to serve the humanity, but unfortunately, because of troubles they are having in their own state, either with the governors in their state or even some power that be at the top echelon of the government, who actually want to destroy, stop the chances of these credible people who want to serve the people. They will deny them the opportunity to get access to power. This problem is glaring, and it's not synonymous to APC, the ruling party alone, even the opposition party. Today, the ADC is one of the party that would have been an alternative to Nigeria if they don't want to go with the APC. But as it is now, the structure or the spirit of the ADC has been balkanized because of the vested interest, because you have an individual who claim the ownership of the party, then all these political juggernauts who have actually cross-carpeted into the party to give the party respite and give Nigerian respite have actually lose confidence, and they are now leaving the party with a lot of tension, with a lot of uncertainty whether Nigerians are going to actually vote in any candidate that is coming from that political party. So this is one of those things you get if you want to impose a candidate at the detriment of the Nigerian voters, who actually will feel the brunt of whatsoever that comes out of it. Because if a candidate is so unpopular, if the candidate lacks the capacity to actually bring in the act of governance in a proper way, definitely there's going to be trouble. So Nigerians don't want to have that problem, and this is the more reason why Peter Obi, Konkoso have actually understand the psychology of Nigerians. At a point, they have to leave abruptly the ADC and join the NDC. Now, the big thing is that if you fill in a candidate that will not take you to promised land, you are likely going to lose the whole structure you have taken time over the years in building. So we want to actually educate Nigerians, give them the spirit of light so that they can see clearly where to follow. Any party who actually impose an unpopular candidate at the expense of a candidate who have the capacity to take them to promised land, it means that that party is going to lose in that election. So we have to placate everything, we have to show Nigerians everything, so that at least they go to the 2027 election fully informed, so that they will make an informed decision. That is the discourse. Now, we want to open the phone line so that you can come in and make your own contribution. As the program goes on, we will be joined by one political analyst who will actually tell us or give us his own viewpoint on this and give Nigerians the direction to follow. As soon as we are able to get him, we are going to connect you. But just before then, we open the phone line. Let's begin to hear contributions for you. What are your opinions? 09138579001 is the number to call, and of course make your own voice heard on this platform. Add your voice to the platform, please. Hello.
Good morning this morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Prince Elijah Brady Photo, Bedland of Boso Kingdom. You see the image of what for some political parties try to form opposition, which at the end of the day they fail up. They start the project, but not they are no go. They didn't go to one mind. They didn't have the intention to save this country. That's why you see they don't really care around 2 afternoon the parties start breaking up apart. What I'm saying, if you actually they really put Nigeria first, whether they pieces the party to anyhow, it's your cost of the voters card you determine who is going to be the president of this country. So far as I'm concerned, it is an abomination, it is taboo to go for the second time. Where Buhari do there, he do 8 years. Where Goodluck go there, he go for 6 years. Which opportunity to go for the second other 4 years, we fail up. I think today, I believe my voters card, I've sharp my voters card to cast vote to Tinubu to go for second.
We are not talking about Tinubu's election or whether he is qualified or not. We are looking at the imposition of unpopular candidate and its likely consequences. When you impose a candidate who is not competent or who is not qualified, what is going to be the likely consequences that follow? We want to just educate ourselves. We want to enlighten ourselves. We want to broaden our horizon so that at least we can have, a matured democracy, because 26 years after return to this current democratic dispensation, Nigerians are still crying issues that are supposed to have been long been solved. Issue of electricity, issue of road, issue of education. At this 21st century, we are still talking about providing water to people. What type of democracy are we operating? 26 years, if you give birth to a 26 years child, a child after 26 years, that person child will have been mature enough to stay on his own. But yet Nigerian democracy is not mature. And how long are we going to allow this to happen? That's what we are talking about. We are not specific about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are not specific about any governor. We are not specific about any elected leader. We are looking at holistically the process or that act of imposing candidate forcibly, which is now making the leadership in the country to get to what it is today. We're supposed to have advanced. So it gets the message clearly. Imposition of unpopular candidate and the consequences that used to follow after that is what we are looking at. And as we are heading towards 2027 election, let's try to identify this problem and provide solution to it, so that 2027 election is going to be an election that we Nigeria for the very first time will get it right in terms of the democratic processes. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Apaya.
Good morning, Mr. Ahmed.
My name is Comrade Ahmed. I'm calling from 123 quarters.
You're welcome to the
Your
program.
presentation is very perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Apaya.
Thank you, sir.
In position of unpopular candidate, you see, you have said it all, Mr. Apaya. When you impose unpopular candidates to the citizenry, who at the end of the day will go to the polls and exercise their franchise, you are wasting your time. Because one of the effects of it is that they will leave the party. Most of them will be practicing anti-party system. Most of them will work against the party. And just the way you said, even at the end of the day, if you are not careful, going to the legal battle, you end up losing to the opposition. And then secondly, again, one thing with the position of this thing, until we stop politics of godfatherism, familiarization, and then hypocrisy, we are not going to get it right. Look at these scenarios. Look at one thing. Why are the majority of governors and their DPTs are having problems at the end of the day when they are at the top of their chair? Because you are done with your tenure, you want to bring your deputy or you want to bring somebody to continue so that you will cover your immunity and other things. But at the end of the day, you did the work of karma, of the prayers of the masses. Always, you see, before the end of the tenure, the deputy and the governor will be at the loggerhead, if you observe. So I think until we solve this politics and we understand that people have to be given a level playing ground to exhibit and then exercise their franchise, that's what we are going to get it right. Thank you very much, Mr. Paya.
Thank you very much. And I think for more clarity, let me make it very clear. Some of those, effect or negative consequences or effect of this imposition of candidate that's over there, all throughout electionary period, what we used to have that is very prominent is defection from one party to another. How has defection increased and improved Nigerian democracy? And recently, former President Goodluck Jonathan, one of the respected icons when it comes to democratic principle in Nigeria, is President Goodluck Jonathan. And he have said something that is so worrisome, that he has been to almost 14 countries to monitor elections, and that Nigeria, with a huge population, the most populous black race in the whole world, with over 200 million population, used to record this issue of voter apathy. Nigeria, he said, in Africa is the worst country that when it comes to voter apathy. People don't want to come out and vote. You have educated elite. You have a lot of people with a lot of technical know-how that can fix problems. People who can decide the destiny of the country. But when it comes to election, they jettison the process. They don't come out to vote because they are not happy with the person who is, standing as a flag bearer of either or any of the parties. And as such, they don't come out to vote. So we are trying to see how we can eradicate that problem, so that by the time you talk to the politician to actually fill in candidates that are going to be accepted by people, we are going to have a large turnout when it comes to elections. So this voter apathy is a serious problem because a lot of resources is being spent in terms of preparing for the election. You do a lot of you have more than 90 million registered voters. You are going to do budget for electorate. You have to make your budget that will not cover these 90 people in terms of ballot paper, in terms of ballot box, in terms of ad hoc staff you're going to appoint. All these components, you need a lot of resources. So a huge amount of billions of naira is being wasted. At the end of the day, very few people will come out and determine the destiny of 200 million Nigerians. The last I checked, the total voters who actually voted in the last election are no more than 20 million in a country where you have over 200 million population. And this is the more reason why we are bringing this, so that we can educate ourselves more, tell the politician the right thing to do. Why must you impose candidate which at the end of the day will make people not to turn out to vote, or rather some people who are going to help the country, help a political party, will have to defect to another political party, now trying to slim or dashing their chances of being voted to come and do what is supposed to be done by them. That is just the idea. Let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Ambassador Abdullah Mustafa Muhammad Jati from Bida.
Ambassador Abdullah Muhammad Jati, you're welcome to the program.
As a politician, I think a position of candidate and other potential politicians is a suicidal attempt, suicidal mission of any political party, be it incumbent or opposition. It is destructive and disastrous for any political to try such a thing. And it has been happening in the past history as it. Even PDP, I think FCC, another opposition party, if you look what happened to PDP in 2015. It is a sort of opposition party and imposing of candidates or popular candidates of people against the majority wish of the people. So we are advising for the political party, especially the governing or ruling party. The ruling party says they have the presidency, they have National Assembly, and control judiciary, and security, and security service of government. All these things are just tidbits in terms of if the citizens want to vote, if they want to exercise their rights, no defeat, no amount of force will stop them. So I'm advising political parties, especially the incumbent people on seat, governors, that they should have a rethink. That such move is suicidal, is dangerous, and it will even affect their popularity, and it will even destroy their existing power grid. So the people should be allowed to choose freely whom they want and how they want it. That is because Constitution has been clear. It's clear how the system will choose. So opposition should have this at the back of their mind that opposition is not the answer. And even if those in Nigeria, because Nigeria are resilient, they are patient people. Now, let me give them the secret behind what is going to happen to themselves. Nigerians are ready to defend and have a credible candidate, and they have their vote count. Anything contrary to we advise our brothers who are judges, who are security agents, that they should stay clear. Those are what to use that neither called course, natural course, to destroy anybody who wants to undermine the whole country in Nigeria. So, my friends in army, police, and judicial, who are others are doing so. So they should be careful. They should be warned. I hope they are listening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this in-depth analysis and contribution. Yes, you have said it all. Yes, all these critical stakeholders should actually be professional in their dealings, so that they don't impose a candidate on people who is not actually popular, who is not qualified to actually go. It's going to amount to political kamikaze, I must say. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Honestly, we have to pray for God's intervention. This issue you brought is quite important. But unfortunately, Nigerians these days are even fed up with fake promises that have been going on. Despite the fact that you don't have the people with capacity, they have imposed themselves upon you. And even the ones that will be telling you things they will do, eventually they fail you. So when you become fed up, even the coming out to vote become, to you, you look at it as it's even useless. Because even if you go in, it doesn't count. Your vote sometimes doesn't even count. Because before you go to vote, the people that will be chosen had already been chosen. So your vote is just a ceremonial vote that doesn't even hold water. But you may only end up satisfying your conscience that I have done it. But it doesn't hold water, because what will happen will still happen. And this is the type of problem we are facing today in Nigeria. We are having people that are not sincere. We are having people that are selfish. We are having people that only know their own pocket. We are having people that are either ethnocentric, egocentric. They are not interested in Nigeria. Did you listen to the president of Namibia recently? The female president of Namibia, what happened in that country, and what the woman said, and what the woman did. Can we do that in Nigeria? Papa, may God give us succor, and we are praying for God's intervention. But we are having leaders that are not interested in Nigeria. They are interested in themselves and for the growth of their own people and within their own society. And the same people in 1974, they used to tell us that we are the ambassadors of tomorrow. You are the future leaders of tomorrow. Today, most of the people that have been saying we are the future leaders of tomorrow, they are the same people recycling themselves in different ways. When are you becoming leader of tomorrow? May God help us.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, as the last caller said, Nigeria are becoming so disappointed, and they are losing hope, and it is the spirit that we want to revive, want to regain that confidence, that hope, so that Nigerians will believe in the structure, the system. If we all keep mute and allow it to go like that, it means that mediocres will be finding their way into the seat of power. And by the time you have a lot of mediocres around the corridor of power, it means you're going to have, government that is not, kakistocrat government and kleptocrat government. You're going to have, economic that is going to be failing, because those level-headed people who are supposed to be at the aim of affair to pretend over public, issues are not there, and then before you know it, you're going to have a collapse in the whole system. So we don't want the system to collapse, and that is why we are bringing this, so that we can revive your confidence, to have confidence. Do not say you are not going to come out to vote because you do not believe in the people who are actually happen to be flag bearer of their different political parties standing for the election. Do not say you are not coming to vote because there is no internal democracy in that political party, and those who are supposed to actually be filled as a candidate are conscripting to a party that is not popular. No, we have to educate ourselves. Tell Nigerians. So what will you do in a situation where you have imposition of candidate? Is it that all other political parties, there are no other people you can trust to say, okay, no matter how unpopular their party is, and you have people who are actually good, you can turn your vote so that it will not be a lesson to a party who actually feel it control the structure or it control the apparatus of the government. By the time you shows that you are the elector, you have the vote, definitely it will send senses into their ears. Let's take this call. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Okafaya.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you calling from? Douglas, right?
Douglas. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You are welcome to the program, Douglas.
Talking about people are not coming out to come and vote. Since before election, some people that are selling their own vote. Some they will say, I will not go to polling unit. Even though I vote somebody that I want, they will not give you at the end of the day. That's why most of people that are not coming out to come and vote. Some they are selling their vote before election, which is not good. That's what is happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And in position of candidate, like I always cite an instance with what is happening in Gombe, because one of the victim or one of the aspirant have come to make it point blank that if a candidate is forcefully imposed on them, they are going to take 3 measures. Now, why we want to preempt what are those measures? One, you know that definitely of all other 3 measures, I don't know, but you can't run away from these 3 things. Number 1 is either they are defecting to another political party, and if happens to be the most popular candidate with a lot of followers in that party, it means that party is going to lose because he will be cross-carpeting to another party. Secondly, if he decided to stay, it means he will stay in the party, but rather he will engage in party activities. We have seen that it's glaring in the country, across political party. We have people who are doing anti-party the same way Wike is doing to PDP today. Wike is actually conducting an anti-party activity to the PDP, the party that made him. So, lastly again, you will want to look at the legal battle. Likely, if you impose a candidate, the candidate may relax and allow you to go into general election, helping to do campaign, helping to seek for vote, and by the time the mandate is getting, you will go to court and seek redress. What happened in Rivers sometimes, what has happened in Bayelsa and in Zamfara, where you lose the whole of the seats that go to election from House of Representatives, all the numbers of House of Representatives that stand for APC in that state that particular time, the Senate, the House of Reps, and even the governor all lost their seats. And this is as a result of the court that interprets the law, and the law doesn't change, it's still there. So the politicians need to wake up from their big slumber and give Nigerians or give their people what they want. Imposing candidate on people has a lot of consequences that is going to be very, very disastrous. Like I said before, doing that, we amount to what I call a political kamikaze, a political suicidal, which you wouldn't want to happen to you. So call us and tell us what you feel about imposition of candidate as we are heading towards 2027 general election. A lot of issues. Every state has its own peculiarity. There is no single state in this country today that is not having problem. If we did not come to discuss it, it means we are trying to harbor a lot of bombs within us that we might be sitting on a time bomb. At a point it will explode, and we don't want any political explosion any longer in this country. What Nigerians want is credible leadership, a leadership that can take them to promised land, a leadership that will tell them that we are going to give you 24 hours electricity, and let them see that electricity in these 24 hours, 7 days. Let's have a leadership that will say you are going to, each time you open your tap, water is going to rush. Let's see a leadership that will be, have that integrity to, give us that. Let's have a leadership that will fix all our schools, hospital, our roads, and all other critical sector of the economy. That is what we are after. 0913857901 is number to call. Hello.
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 I don't have anything to say.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Sukomba.
Okay. Go ahead and make your contribution.
All what I wanted to say, only to greet you, and you people should compare and look. And this man, Atiku Abubakar, is the one that we are seeing that will test Tinubu. If not, wallahi, we don't have anywhere to go. I'm telling you this. And as for now that I'm speaking to you, I'm right from our village. So please, you people should look and look and look this article. If not, we don't have anybody that will face this Tinubu, because our country is very, very bad now. Please, you people should consider that and look.
Well, thank you very much for your contribution. Yes, imposition of candidate is what we are talking about. And, when the ADC came on board, it has a lot of sympathizers. It has been embraced by many Nigerians. But what broke, or what actually, balkanized the ADC is this issue of imposition. Some of the political juggernauts in that party who actually come to, put more glamour and, of course, give the party more popularity, felt that one individual want to impose himself, and they too are aspiring to actually have the chance to be in the ballot, and as such they feel ADC is not a place to be. So I think you have to be talking to the leadership on those party to actually change their position. They have to change their political, the narrative have to change. If you actually want support from good people who will come and help you, so you will have to jettison the idea of imposition of a candidate, because that is one of the things that is disturbing us in this country. Hello. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Wait, no, this is Usman Alhaji Muhammad.
Okay, Usman Alhaji Muhammad, your country program.
Yes,
sir.
Why our politicians fearing contest? Why they don't want to go on primaries? And this problem is not from the people, it's from the governors. It's the governors that don't want that primary to take place, because they think after primaries, when you do primaries fairly and justly, people will remain. Begin neutral in the primaries. Let the performance work, not money giver. As far as our people continue to celebrate those that share money, not performance, the position of candidates will continue. That is my take-off.
Thank you very much for that contribution. 09138579001 is number to call and join the conversation. We are looking at imposition of unpopular candidate and its implication. What are those likely consequences that we're going to have if you force a candidate that is not popular on the people? What result are you going to get? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good. Musa D. Jankara.
Okay.
Musa D. Jankara.
Musa D. Jankara, right? Okay, welcome to the program. Yes, sir.
When we are talking about politics in Nigeria, we should not even think of a candidate. People like Atiku and so that we are talking, Atiku cannot even win the election compared to Tinubu. The solution for ADC, if they can drop another candidate and pick Jonathan, which has the capacity, they will be able to go. You understand? So the issue of saying Atiku cannot go make an effort. Atiku is even the same thing with all this people you are talking. You understand?
Yes, I'm getting you.
So let them strategize. Let the ADC strategize to bring a capacity candidate in South, not in the North. So let's talk about this defection of this Peter B and this politician from Kano. They can do nothing. But if they should have a capacity candidate like Jonathan, under one party. They can push to everything and they will go. But with Atiku, they can make anything.
Well, thank you very much for your contribution. We are trying to encourage internal democracy. Let the people within the party, be given a level playground. Let everybody tread its own tentacle to see if actually the love of his party faithful, if he can get the love of his party faithful to feel him, but not you using undue influence, not using your political hegemony to actually override other interests so that you'll be on the ballot, not minding the fact that whether you are going to get acceptance from Nigerians at the general election or not. That is what is very, very important. If you are going to be filled as a candidate, you ask yourself, are you going to be accepted by the electorate? That's the big question. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Apaya. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Engineer calling from Faduke.
Engineer, you are welcome to the program.
Apaya, we must do justice to you guys for this wonderful topic you are presenting this morning.
Thank you very much, Engineer.
We pray for more strength, God guidance for Baba, the owner of the radio station.
And
you guys are helping him to follow their fears.
Thank you very much.
Apaya, the problem of imposition of candidates. This issue is as simple. If we electorate can sit down, reason, and look for a credible candidate. I want to make a case study. If you remember last election, what happened in Kacha local government? A candidate was imposed.
Yes.
The popular candidate went and picked a form in SDP. At the end of the election, what happened? He won. It equally happened in Chanchaga. Our present governor, when he came in 2011, he came in as a opposition. Then PDP fielded an imposed candidate. They imposed a candidate, and the advantage went to the opposition. So I want to recommend this Badeggi radio to please, educate the electorate. Any local government that a candidate is fielded against the wishes, they should look for another party that they think that candidate is capable to give them what they want. I believe if we can go by this, wallahi tallahi, we are going to get it.
Yes.
So the issue of people saying I'm not going out to vote, when I zade, baza aba, when there's aba, wallahi kariani, we have gone. That era is gone, Apaya. Let us look at the credible candidates in other parties and voted for them. Wallahi, we are going to get it.
Yes.
So thank you so much for this wonderful topic. And please, like I said, you people have a lot of work to do by educating the electorate.
Yes.
Then answer wonder about so wallahi pardon besides, we have a lot of political parties. So please, electorate, please, let's shine our eye. A candidate that is being elected already and is performing, we don't need to drop him. Please, let's support him. That's my take. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Electorate, let's shine our eyes. That's according to Engineer Lassan. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. I think Engineer Lassan have actually dissected the issue for us locally. And before now, we're talking about what happened in Zamfara and River States. And he's now taking us down memory lane back here in Niger State. Just recent history, what happened in Kacha. I think it's a very, very beautiful, analogy, very beautiful example that people have to wake up. In Kacha, the people actually went for popular candidate. What happened after that is by the way. But what is very important that the will of the people have actually prevailed, and that is what we are, actually encouraging. This is democracy, and democracy is game of number. It's the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So any decision that does not have the backing and support of the people, that decision should be jettisoned and go for the one that actually have the popular, support of the people. That's very good. Let's take it to the Facebook. We have this one coming from Umar Don Azimi. Said the level of desperation being exhibited in Nigeria is getting increasingly alarming. There is no doubt that the shifting of a democracy in Nigeria, consequence on the desperation of the politician, shall surely result in an unpleasant consequences. The Holocaustal clouds are steadily forming, and the insensitive players should watch it. It could consume them. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Saleh said, candidate imposition, pros and cons. Pros: imposition ensure party unity, field experienced leaders, and streamlines campaigns by avoiding decisive primaries. It leverages party machinery for better funding and voter mobilization. Cons: it undermines democracy, alienates voters by ignoring their preferences, breeds apathy or rebellion, and foster corruption as elites override popular will. Balancing party discipline with voter choice is key to healthy election. Thank you very much for this academic, contribution. Usman said, Assalamu alaikum, SARS. Election is not a fight, and nobody will force anybody to vote him. Election is not all about party. It's all about choice. Thank you very much for that one. Ibrahim Saleh is coming back to say, the imposition on a popular candidate and its likely consequences in Nigeria's 2027 general election. Imposing an unpopular candidate risks deepening democratic erosion. Party godfathers often override voter preference, fueling resentment and apathy. Likely fallout includes mass voter boycott, low turnout undermines legitimacy, protests and violence, youth-led unrest, as in NSAS echoes, legal battle, court injunction, delay governance, eroded trust, long-term cynicism towards institution. To avert crisis, party must prioritize primaries reflecting public will. Otherwise, 2027 will ignite instability, installing progress. Thank you very much for another very, very lengthy but educative comment there. Saidu Al-Amin Isa said, we are all watching with keen interest as we pray people interest manifest in this process of either consensus or direct primaries. Mr. Farmer Governor, please allow due process. Thank you very much, Saidu Al-Amin Isa. Muhammad bin Bukar said, political parties is an important step in strengthening our democracy. It is expected that credible, competent, and people-oriented aspirants should emerge to serve the interests of the citizens with honesty and dedication. Nigerians are hopeful for leaders who will focus on development, peace, and welfare for the people. It will be a devastating windstorm in our country if leaders are being imposed, most especially by the present state governors. Everything should be go by rules, clear and neutral. Overall, this issue reminds us of the importance of a responsible leadership unit and collective support for national development. Let's go for competency. Lastly, our political parties should have idealism and ideology. Thank you very much for that one. Balabeni Ochigade say, good morning, Mr. Paya, Ibile, OG, and listeners. Any political party that imposes candidate on the people will face harmful defeat. PDP might have erred on so many of its action. One thing PDP never did was imposition of consensus candidates. They say, I have never heard of consensus when PDP was ruling party. They rather spend money to support its preferred candidate. The worst of it is that consensus is not by choice of the contestant, but by the coercion to step down their aspirants. For some other contestants, this is undemocratic. APC Zone A, Senate contestation is on top gear. There is attention everywhere. The government should by all means resist temptation to impose any candidate. The government should allow free contestation and allow the most popular candidate to emerge. Thank you, and I'm watching you from Kano. Thank you very much, Bala Benu Echugaye. Muhammad Ibn Abubakar said, again, we have leaders that believe in Nigerian project. He's coming back to say, Mr. Paya, we are asking about Alhaji Abdullahi Isa Jankara. We want to hear about his program and plans. Niger State needs an alternative too. Thank you very much, Muhammad Ibn Abubakar, for that. Let's return back to callers. And I think I'm so much interested. I'm happy with this comment I'm reading here, because some of them are geared towards enlightening and educating us and opening our eyes to do the right thing. And one particular one that is so interesting to me here is that one that was posted by Bala Benu Echugaye, where he says Zone A Senate contestation is on top gear. There is a tension everywhere. The government should by all means resist temptation to impose any candidate. The government should allow free contestation and allow the most popular candidate to emerge. The most popular candidate to emerge. I love that. I don't think there is a problem in Zone A. Everybody knows where he belongs. They say when the day is break, everybody will begin to bear in Papa name. So in Zone A, senatorial, contest, everybody knows where we answer his Papa name, because the most popular candidate in that zone knows himself, and he knows definitely the people will not forget what he has done to them, and definitely they will want to vote him so that he will continue from where he stopped. Even though he has never stopped, he will continue at the point where he will find himself as a senator. So, and one thing I love in the call by Bala Benu Echugaye is that they said the government should allow the people to actually go for their own choice. And if I know the government will not dare go to Zone A and scatter the most popular person there, because that person is on ground with his people. So I think there's no cause for alarm. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Once again.
Good morning, sir. Once again, your name and where you're calling from.
Abdullah Mustafa Muhammad Jafi. Okay. The issue of popular candidate and the position, I think even to me, I begin to suspect of you, Konkoso, because they seem to be afraid of popular judgment. They should have faith and went for it. They should went around and look for this thing. Because it seems even themselves are accused of someone they are accused of, because both of them, without primary, they are imposing themselves, Obi and Konkoso. That is the position. They should allow primary to take course before declaring themselves president and vice president. And the consequences of a position, people will leave, people will do a protest vote. A protest vote is the destruction of any political party, and that should be discouraged. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insightful analysis there. 0913857900 is over to call. We are looking at the imposition of unpopular candidate ahead of 2027 general election. What are the likely consequences for any political party who decided to unilaterally impose an unpopular candidate on the people? If you secure the party's flag or a candidature, how are you going to face the people in the general election? That is what we are trying to look at. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Your name and where you're calling from, please?
Anonymous. I'm calling from Lagos State.
Okay, please, can you be a little bit audible so that the public can get to hear you? Turn down the volume of your radio set.
Is it okay now?
It's okay now.
First of all, my own is the issue of Zone B, Niger State, senatorial district.
Yes.
I think the popular candidate here is San 313.
You say it. You are saying it.
Thank you very much.
What? Okay, that's what you want to say? Okay, his own is just saying the most popular. You see, this thing is not a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. It's obvious, it's glaring, handwriting very, very clear on the wall. It just require, people to have that strength of character. The leaders should have strength of character and give people what they want. You don't need to mention them. We all know that. Hello, sir.
I'm Comrade Ahmed calling back again.
Okay, Comrade Ahmed, go ahead. You're going to be the last caller of the day.
Said it all from his message, especially when he talked about Zone A particularly, because the race in Zone A is going to be very, very interesting. So let's keep watch and see who who wins at the end of the day. Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, listeners of Badeggi Radio 90.1 FM, I must tell you that the imposition of a popular candidate remains a very serious threat to our democracy. It's to threaten to our democratic consolidation in the country. If political parties fail to manage internal democracy properly before the 2027 general election, the country may witness increased defection, voter apathy, legal dispute, and political instability. Ultimately, democracy becomes stronger when candidates emerge through transparent, credible, and popular process rather than through the influence of a powerful individual, particularly the governors. You will agree with me that governors today in Nigeria have become imperious, so much so that what they want personally, unilaterally, they impose their decision on people, whether it is palatable to them or not. They don't care, because they control the resources of their state. So they feel that resources is their own personal thing, and they feel they can do and undo. But in the end, what happened at general election? What happened after the election? If people go to court, or if people defect and leave you to be on your own feet? Well, we'll leave you with this. This is where the curtains falls on this program. We want to appreciate our listener for taking your time to listen to this program until tomorrow, when we shall be back here tomorrow, possibly with a guest to actually dissect issues politically and otherwise. We want to appreciate you. From all of us here, I am Usman Apaya.